Let's continue our math adventure. Today, our focus is on using percent in real world situations. I know most kids like to shop, and that's a prime place where we can see percents in use. When a store is actually selling something, they didn't create that product themselves. They had to go to a manufacturer to buy that product. And when they went to buy that product, they bought it at what is called a wholesale price. It's cheaper for them to get it. So they'll bring that item back to the store. And of course, they want to make a profit on it. So they take that wholesale price and they'll mark it up some percentage, and that's the retail price, or the price that you would see in the store that you would buy it for. So our first thing is we're going to take a look at, say we were that store owner and we were going to go fill our store with items that we wanted to sell. Well, the price that we would sell it at, which is called that retail price, would be what we bought it for, and then multiply that by the markup percent we wanted. So let's say we went to buy a sweater and we bought it from the manufacturer for $13. We got it back to our store and we know we don't want to sell it for $13 because we're not going to make any profit on that. So we decided, all right, we're going to mark it up 110%. Now, I know that's going to more than double that $13. If I only marked it up 100%, it would just double it up to $26. So really, we're going to go a little bit more than that. Well, we can use an equation to help us solve this, and this equation never changes. We can determine what we want to sell it for, or that retail price, by just multiplying that wholesale price of $13. That $13 represents 100% of where we want to start from. Then we're going to add that markup amount that we want, and we want to go up 110%. So actually our price is going to go up 210% from the $13. It's the 100% plus the markup of 110%. Well, when I change that percent to a decimal, because remember, we cannot multiply when we're in percent form, I replace that percent symbol with a decimal point, and I move that decimal point 2 places to the left. That's where I'm getting my 2.10. Now I'm able to multiply. As long as we're in that decimal form, then we're good to go. So 13 times 2 10/100 is $27.30. That means I bought it from the manufacturer at $13. I'm going to sell it to you for $27.30. That's going to cover my costs of doing business, plus it's going to make me a little bit of profit for myself. Now, sometimes that item doesn't sell. So say we have an item sitting on our shelf and nobody buys it. Well, what we do is we keep reducing the prices and we put it on sale. And so the way we do a sale price, it's really based off the same kind of equation, but we're going to take that retail price, what we wanted to sell it for, and we're going to then decrease it by a discount percentage. So we're always working with percentages on this. We're not just guessing numbers. So say my original price that I tried to sell it at was $60 and it just did not sell. So I'm going to try reducing that price by 20%. Well, that $60 represents 100% of where I'm starting from. Then I'm going to take out that 20% discount. So in reality, I'm going to sell it at 80% of its original price. Well, again, I cannot multiply if it's in that percentage form. So I'm going to replace that percent with the decimal, and I move that decimal point 2 places to the left. That's where I'm getting 60 times 0.80. When I multiply that, I'm going to then sell it for $48. I'm not guaranteed it's going to sell, but hopefully at $48, that's the last time I'll have to drop that price, and I'll be able to move that piece of merchandise. Now, sometimes we know what the retail price, but maybe somebody didn't keep really good records, and we don't know what we originally bought it from the manufacturer. Well, the whole equation stays the same. We're not changing the equation. We're just going to put in an unknown for that wholesale price. So if the question is, well, what was the wholesale price? What did I buy it from the manufacturer for? Well, what I'm selling it for on the floor or in the store is $50, but that's not what I paid the manufacturer. But that markup that I originally did from the manufacturer was 90%. Well, $50 is my retail price. I don't know my wholesale price, so I put a variable in for that. But I know whatever that wholesale price was, that represented 100% of where I started from. From there, I marked it up 90%. So in reality, this retail price is 190% of what I originally bought it for. Well, I'm going to change that percent to a decimal. By moving it to the left, you're seeing I always have to do that. That's where I get my 1.90, and that just creates an equation. So I get 1.90x equals 50, and then to get x by itself, I divide by 1.90 on both sides. In the end, I get x equals $26.32. It means I bought it from the manufacturer at $26.32. I marked it up 90% in order to then sell it to you, the consumer, at $50. Final place that we see it all the time using percents is when we go to a restaurant. So we know that we have to pay for the price of the food, but we also have to add in sales tax and we have to tip. And so if I went to a restaurant and my food bill was $18, that's not the total amount that I need to pay. To that, I have to add 5% tax and a 20% tip because we got really good service that day. Well, again, it's really the same equation. So my total bill, I don't know yet, but I know I'm going to have to pay the $18, which represents 100% of that food bill. To that, I'm going to add my 5% sales tax, and I'm going to add my 20% tax, or sales, my tip for that. So in the end, I have $18, which is my original bill, and I'm going to go up 125%. So when I go up 125%, again, I change that percent to a decimal. That becomes 18 times 1.25. When I multiply that, I get $22.50. So that's what I would be paying for the entire experience at the restaurant. So percents are everywhere in the world. We don't always know that we've been working with percents, but that's how stores and restaurants calculate what they're going to sell items to you for, and also how to calculate discounts. So I hope you enjoy the world of percents because you're going to run into them often. Good luck with this challenge. You'll do great.